A monk and a billionaire get into an argument. The billionaire laughs at the monk and says, "That's why you're broke." Everything I'm going to say in this video has something to do with the tour. In preparation for making this video, I start reflecting on Kendrick Lamar's career. And we can start at Good Kid, Mad City, where Kendrick Lamar sums it up, talks about his neighborhood and his people, wanting to help his people in his neighborhood. Then we move over to Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick Lamar is more talking about Black Americans. And something happens after this where Kendrick Lamar is looking at the duality of his personality, Gemini, in the album Damn, into where it's looking like no matter which way he chooses, it's not going to end up good. Via you play the album forwards or you play the album backwards. And what I love about Kendrick Lamar is that I like when people don't just talk. You can see it in their life. You can see it in their decision making. You can see it in their actions. To have Damn be the album where he's questioning his choices, and no matter which way it's going to be bad. Leave for 5 years. We find out when he comes back to make Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, he went through mental health, a low point in his life, and it made him bold enough to come out and let us know about all of his demons and how he conquered most of those demons. In order to come back and do an album 5 years later, this was one of the most blatant things that I saw. Well, what Kendrick Lamar told us on one of his diss records to Drake, I think it was Euphoria, he told Drake, "Only you like being famous. Only you." And that line sticks with me. Anyone that wants the fame, anyone that wants to purposely chase the number one, would never leave for 5 years. And if they were to come back, they are coming back with big bangers that they know is going to play in the club. Yet we don't hear any of that. We don't hear a Damn type of album on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. If I'm Kendrick Lamar, I would be most proud of this album than any album that I've ever created. Number one, because not only for helping other people and talking about mental health, but also on the fact that this album was supposed to do garbage numbers. And it not only was a number one album, but it was the number one album in the entire world that year for any hip hop artist. Just think, you have peeled back your layers and you aren't chasing numbers, and you're still number one of what people say is one of your lowest albums. You still reached number one, and he did it again without even trying. Then I look at the anger involved in the untitled track that came out after the 4 diss songs, and what Kendrick Lamar is talking about. When I look over his entire career, he helped himself mentally. He put out a lot of stuff for people to help others. And now he can see the world crystal clear and see the problems that we have. And now he's disgusted with this. He's still living on his principles. He doesn't want to be famous. Everybody talks about all the good steps that Kendrick Lamar made this year. If we look at this through the eyes of Drake or Drake's fans, then we can say that Kendrick Lamar made some major mishaps. We can say that the pop-out concert was a mishap. We can say that because at that height of his popularity, he could have easily sold out the Crypto.com stadium. But what did Kendrick Lamar do? He decided to do it in a much smaller stadium, Inglewood. That's a purposeful move, but it still goes with his personality. He doesn't care. He isn't trying to purposely beat Drake at an opportunity where he know he can beat Drake at numbers. He made the choice to choose something smaller. Anyone at this time that want to say, well, he probably wouldn't have people to fill the Crypto.com. He's about to do a stadium tour right now. If you're Kendrick Lamar and the entire world is looking at you, you got the world in the palm of your hand, you can easily crush Drake. What if Kendrick Lamar, after those 4 diss songs to Drake, we heard nothing from him? And instead of the untitled song with the black Air Force Ones, just on that random day, he would have came out with TV Off. Can you imagine the type of numbers that TV Off would do? He didn't do that. He came with a message. He knows this isn't the ish that young people want to hear right now. They're like, yo, you bugging. Where's the big hit? Where's the song, Kendrick? He doesn't care. He does what he wants because he isn't a slave to try to chase the numbers. He is consistently showing, even when his fans go out to argue with Drake fans, he doesn't purposefully do anything to chase numbers. This is what makes his numbers so great, because Kendrick Lamar isn't supposed to be here. Nas is not supposed to be here. Nas is not supposed to have a platinum album. He has multiple platinum albums. Kendrick Lamar has multiple platinum albums. When you're doing conscious rap, there's a lane that you stick in, and even though we would want for this to be more, we don't live in a world where this is more. So when you see people that reach astronomical numbers like a Kendrick Lamar, he is far, far more successful than anyone that would purposely try to achieve these goals. If you have the world in the palm of your hand and you're looking to make these decisions, and you know at this moment, I can take out Drake's numbers. You do not release 12 songs. All you have to do is put 20 songs on it. This is another example of Kendrick Lamar showing us, I don't care. And out of everything on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers album, I think this is something that a lot of people should hear. I think a lot of people get in trouble because of their pride and being vindictive or trying to do things to reach a metric. They truly don't even care about themselves. As human beings, we have a lot in common that brings us together, but we have a lot about our personality that makes us individuals. And it's those distinct things that stand out that makes you, but we strip ourselves of that to try to be more like everyone else. So for a man to have the world in the palm of his hands, he's consistently over and over and over again showing us, who cares? Who cares? Drake answered the PDF file accusations in a crazy way because Drake felt victim to people saying, why did you defend the daughter but you didn't defend his first? Drake is following. Drake chose the narrative because he's listening to what people saying online to make his version of the Heart Part 6. Kendrick Lamar is being accused of domestic violence. You know how Kendrick Lamar defended it? He said one line: don't let nobody put no dirt on your name. That's it. He just showed on his man's morals and principles. People aren't going to believe it, and people did not believe it. He let his confidence stand up for him. Again, showing us this man does not care about being famous. Days before his concert, they roll out with bots accusation on Kendrick Lamar. He hasn't said a single thing. He doesn't care. Kendrick Lamar feels probably how I feel. If you think the greatest streaming artist of history of hip hop, which is Drake, has his guided moral principles that he will never, ever, ever use bots, and he never has, and he's totally against it. But Kendrick Lamar has no problem doing it. I think that's very laughable, to say the least. And that's probably what he thinks, and it's not nothing worth even saying anything about. So what do we have here with this stadium? We've laid the foundation that Kendrick Lamar doesn't care. He pops out. He says he's a new family man now, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He's shown that. Drake accused him of doing certain things to his wife. And Kendrick Lamar didn't respond with words. He responded with the 15-second clip of him, his wife, and his children dancing on Drake's grave. And now he announces a stadium tour. So when I first saw this stadium tour, it goes right aligned with Kendrick Lamar. He's again in the perfect position to destroy Drake's numbers. Drake did this how many arenas? So if I know everybody, I will sell out every stadium. I will sell out every arena. How about I just do 5 more with the same price of the tickets because they're going to buy it right now. I can take Drake's title right back to me. But he doesn't care about that. And I'm stressing this because I sort of feel sorry for Kendrick Lamar fans, because it's like you spend a lot of time debating and defending Kendrick Lamar against something he doesn't want you to care about as well, because it isn't important. Recently, we saw Mike Tyson look at all of his championship belts and say, I was stupid back then, wasting my life on this right here. I should have been with my kids. I should have been with my children. This means nothing. We have a 22 stadium tour. Now, while these stadiums fill out far more than arenas, if he maxes out every stadium, he still would not beat Drake's last tour. Again, he doesn't care. I'm showing you guys consistent things that Kendrick Lamar purposefully does not try to beat Drake. So when you see these astronomical numbers, they would mean more, because Kendrick Lamar is not supposed to be selling and having all of this success. He's only getting this success because of the love that he has from the culture. We have a lot of young people now. I've been in hip hop. I'm 44 years old. So they're so young that they actually believe that Kendrick Lamar has only been successful because of the Drake beef, when his albums all went #1. When he has multiple Grammys, a Pulitzer Prize, and out of all the albums that Drake got, the longest reigning album on the top 200 is Kendrick Lamar's album, Damn. Or is it Good Kid, Mad City? The longest reigning. This means it was reigning prior to the Drake beef. This means it was reigning during this 5-year hiatus. This means it was reigning during this 2 years between his project. It's been reigning this entire time. This has been reigning when I'm in my 20s, I'm in my 30s, I'm in my 40s. All prior to Drake, all these albums #1. This is an amazing feat for just not even a conscious rapper, but just a rapper, a hip hop rapper, period. These are the Taylor Swift numbers. These are you're up there with the Princes, the Michael Jacksons, all from conscious rap. It seems like I'm being a negative about Kendrick fans. I'm trying to get y'all to see that this is absolutely amazing. When I look at this tour, it goes along with Kendrick Lamar's life. If I do 22 stadiums, I'm not on tour this entire freaking half of a whole year. And while I'm not on tour this whole year, I can just pop out, do these 22, go back with my wife and my children and my Fruity Pebbles, and the life that he told us he was wanting to achieve way back with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The best thing you can have as a fan is to see somebody living the life that they're talking about. They're doing the actions that they talk about. That's what motivates me. Kendrick Lamar told Drake in a song, "You're going to cancel that show in the Bay." Drake canceled it for his safety. And now Kendrick Lamar in June, I think June 12th, will be performing in Toronto in a stadium. Walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Kendrick Lamar didn't make a YouTube video. Kendrick Lamar didn't put out a tweet to top 5 and everybody's saying he can't come to Toronto ever. He just booked the stadium. He's going to bring all the citizens of Toronto to him. You guys have seen me in my videos with my gold chains on. I got my gold rings on, my gold bracelets on. And when I go to where my jewelry and all my stuff is at, I just grab these most of the time because my daughter made these for me. So I love them. It's hard to choose a gold bracelet when I'm standing there when right next to it is the bracelets my daughter wear. I choose my $10 ring because I love topaz and I love jade and I love turquoise. So I don't even pick up my gold rings or anything. I normally grab this. That's John Shea Montez Rhymes. That's me. I think we should encourage more people out here to be themselves, and that you don't have to go and do what you think everybody else would do, unless you solely feel that way. If Drake solely feels I constantly got to make 1,000 songs on every album and put out album after album after album, make sure I reach the top and work off like this, if that brings him joy and happiness, he should do that. But if that's not who you are as a person, then who are you living for? Which brings me back to the beginning of the video. People try to put down other people based on what they covet. A billionaire is wasting his time to put down a monk to say that's why you don't have any money. The monk does not covet money. The billionaire can't understand this. He can't comprehend it. How can you not covet money? It has to hurt your feelings when I talk about that you being broke, living in the mountains in some temple. His goals, his value, his dreams, what he wants to aspire to. If you want it to hurt the monk, you have to hurt the monk in other ways. But you can't hurt the monk on what will put you down. So I hope you guys take that as a lesson in what I'm trying to tell you in this video, because a lot of people are arguing numbers online. Drake fans, Kendrick Lamar fans defending against Drake fans. The whole time, Kendrick Lamar is showing you with his actions, he doesn't care about numbers. So salute to Kendrick Lamar, getting my ticket. So I'll see you guys there, Atlanta, Georgia, April 29th. I signed.